We must serve so that Christ be magnified in us. After we find the correct attitude to live our lives and minister, we need to serve so that Christ is magnified in us. The minimum requirement for a Christian is that he would live his life, he or she would live his or her life, wake up, go to work, carry herself in such a way, that other people say, hey, whatever he or she has, I want it. Not with timidity, meekness, yes, but not with timidity, with boldness, okay? To live with boldness, and yet, for other people to see, he's not that, it's not a strong personality, I'm not put off by the fact that, he or she carries the Word of God in such a way that when people look, they say, I want to be like that. I want that peace. I want that love. I want that kind of character. I want to become like her. Because they're still confused, remember? They don't know who Jesus Christ is, right? They have no relationship. I want to be something like that. I want what she has. Something that they cannot buy with money. Something that they cannot forcefully take. And then when they find Jesus, of course, you teach them to stop looking at you and stop looking at Jesus. Not to be stiff-necked, but to look up. See? The next portion of the verse says, but with all boldness as always, so now also Christ will be magnified in my body. Is Christ magnified in your body? What do you touch? Where do you go? How do you speak? What have you done? I hope that's not the question. What have I done? Because that body is not yours. In fact, here's the good news. You're leaving that behind. None of us will take it to heaven. It's like a rental. Sooner or later, you have to bring it back to the rental agency. And our bodies, we have these bodies, but they are all just on loan. But while we have it, we need to be able to say, when we are doing our, again, let me use that big word, introspection. So to most of you, it's meditation. But some of us, we meditate and then we fall asleep. I'm thinking a sincere examination of oneself. When we examine ourselves, I hope we are able to say that in our body, in my very being, things occurred today that allowed me to be able to say, I magnified. Magnified is sort of a double meaning. Magnified, of course, means to exalt, to praise, to raise up. And also magnified means, do you know the magnifying glass? To put into focus, or to take the eyes of those people who look at me, instead to look at God. To see with a magnifying glass. To see the details, not just the existence of God, but the details. How wonderful His love is. How abundant His provision. How great His mercy. Yes, to call attention to us, to be able to say, you can watch me. I was so impressed with Pastor Jack one time, some guy, he testified one time, Pastor Jack Clifford. One time, this guy said, I want to be discipled by you. And Pastor Jack said, I have no time to disciple you. And at that point, he was going to become president of the denomination. I said, no, I don't have time to disciple you. But there will be other men. And so the boy was very downcast. But he said, but tell you what, you just watch me. You watch me. And I thought back then, that was about the beginning of my ministry. I said, this is impossible. There will not come a time when I will say, people watch me. But no, I'm not thinking that way. The more further I get into this ministry, the more I'm feeling it's okay to be watched. But don't keep your eye on me all the time. Because I want to be able to say, and I'm endeavoring to say that by the end of the day, God was magnified. Can you say that in your everyday life? And you know what? You start with the small things. The coming on time, the being responsible, the keeping your word. Don't worry about pre-millennial or post-millennial. Don't worry about this once saved, always saved, and all these other concepts. Don't worry about that. Keep your word. Come on time. Keep your priorities. Start your day by praying to God. After that, kiss your children, kiss your wife, kiss your husband. There you go. And let God be magnified. Point number 3, we must serve in all aspects of our life. Here's the problem we have as a church. Here's the big problem. Oh boy, here it comes. When it comes to ministry, some of us pick and choose. Especially some of us who have been in ministry a long time, who have been in the church a long time. We feel that certain aspects of ministry are not our responsibility. Let me use this example. When you're at the house, your house, do you throw the garbage? Do you wash the dishes? Do you pay your bills? You don't say, well, you know what, my responsibility is only washing the dishes. Even though I have an income, it's the other people's responsibility to throw the garbage. It's the other's responsibility to pay the bills. When you're in your house, you treat this as your house. You cannot say, I deserve this, because you deserve nothing. When it comes to the aspect of looking at where we are, in the context of how God is, we deserve really a lot more worse. We deserve a lot more worse. But when we are in the house, and that's one lesson we have to learn, we need to, as individuals, love the house that we live in. And if you can't love the house that you live in anymore, you have to leave. There will come that time. But until then, while you are there, while you are benefiting, especially you young people, benefiting from your elders, it is not your privilege to live there and play video games, and use the internet, and eat, and use the water and electricity and not contribute. And in the same manner, if you're an adult, be embarrassed. Because that's not how it is. That's not how it should be. We must serve in all aspects of our life. Whether it's our love life, our emotions, our intellect, our finances, our ministry. We need to strive for consistency, to be able to say, yes, Lord, you have a standard, and I am endeavoring. I should stop doing that. That we are meeting it. Because I'm tired of people saying, I'm trying. Yeah, that's why you're failing. I should stop talking about people endeavoring to do things. Because when you're trying, you are doing it yourself. And you're not going to succeed. There are a lot of things that I encounter in my life that a lot of people look at me and go like, wow, how do you survive all of that? And then you come to church and you're still able to preach as though you weren't ruffled. You know, I've never asked you to put me on a pedestal. Some of you still do, and I'm laughing. I've never told you that I have a perfect family, or a perfect marriage, or a perfect wife. I'm not the perfect father, nor my son a perfect son. And I'm not in the perfect situation. In fact, my situation is worse than some of you guys. But there is one thing that I can say. At the very end of that verse it says, whether by life or by death. Whether by life or by death. So I say to you, those people who attack me, I'm not saying it's you. Those people who attack, those people who vent, those people, whatever they want to call their activities. Here's what I have to say. And I'll repeat it, I've said this before. Go ahead and bring hell. Because hell will not prevail over Jesus. You are looking at a man who needs nobody and nothing but Jesus. How about your wife or your kids? No. I'm not saving them. My wife is not saved because of me. Or my son. Or my household. None of them are going to be saved because of me. And yes, I benefit from you. Well, the other day some people cooked some of this and did this cake and and gave me food. And yes, I benefit from people. Absolutely. But I know if these people are taken away, I will live. Because it is Jesus that is first and foremost in our lives. You can take everything and you can bring hell. But you will not win. It has happened before. And it is not to my ability to fight or protect myself, because I've been called to the district and I've been harassed. And there was that possibility that maybe I have to step down. But after all of that, still God protects. There is something. Was I right? In some aspects, but maybe I was wrong. That's why I was getting called. But it's not so much people who are put in authority over me, but people who serve with me. The unconscious attacks. The unguarded words. The postings on Facebook. Come on, you know. Let's not pretend. Go ahead. Bring help. I am a winner. My Jesus, He is a winner. It's not going to work. 3 things that will cause me to be fired or taken out of church. 1, infidelity. 2, teaching of the wrong doctrine. 3, messing with the church's money. I have a feeling that's not what's going to happen. I have a feeling, come the time, God will take me out. But when God takes me out, I'm going to be in a better place. I'm not going to want to come back. I'm not going to want you to pray for my body so that I will rise again. What I would like you to do is celebrate. Celebrate a life. When that time comes, it will come, and I'm not afraid of it. Oh, come, Jesus. Come soon. Come now, if you will. I say these things because I want you to live in such a way that you can see that there is this victory, there is this. We are told that we need hope, right? Let me digress. We need hope in our lives. God's hope, the hope that He gives us, is amazing. But I'm hoping and praying that we would not lean so much on hope, but to see the body of work that God has done for you all your life. And instead of leaning on hope, believe. And know and understand. Let it be concrete in our hearts that indeed God will provide and God will save. And God will do whatever it takes in order that His will be done in your life and mine. You know, we are soldiers. We are in a spiritual warfare. We are soldiers in the army of God. And someday I'm hoping and praying that people will not come to me. And I'm not tired of you coming to me. And people complain. And people say, this is my situation and I'm so under pressure. And I've lost this and I cannot get that back. I'm hoping that someday this will be a sign. We will be soldiers. Yes, I got into that car wreck. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, we are suffering as a family, but you know what? God is in charge. I would like to be able to see people not panic and freak out, not be anxious, but instead, you know, it's funny sometimes how people come to me and they think I can do something for them. It's really funny. Yes, I pray, but you know what? It's like I can make a difference in your life. No. It is God. We are God's. God has ownership over us. God owns this ministry. And so I would ask that you would, again, forget the mistakes of the past, renew your life, and tap into that fountain of life that God gives you today in this very moment. And do your best. If you do your best, God will bless it. It will be a